Who's it gonna be? Oh yeah, there's my bitch.
Remember, the ball must travel 10 yards. It's loose. Mud Dogs football.
Well. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Game Time Brian, otherwise known as the Mailman. Yes, indeed. Rise and grind. Hope everybody's having... I'm trying to clear off my windshield here. Very brisk. Very brisk this morning. But, yes. Rough day yesterday. Mark's like, why aren't you doing any content? Basically, that's when Mark sends me snippets of information. That's what he means. And, you know, I mean, I try and tell him, but it's that government job, Mark. Come on, bro. Come on, man. I work for the man. So, one of them days after a holiday, 2 days worth of mail and packages jammed into one day. That's what it was. But, you know, I heard the interview with Jerry Jones live. And I could have done a video, I guess, on it last night. I mean, it's covered ad nauseum. I mean, I get it. I should have probably, but I was tired. Long day, you know. My health is first, and me and my job is first. YouTube is, I love it, but it's definitely second. Third, really. Family. I would say family, work, YouTube. There you go. How's that? 3. It's down the list. I mean, I like doing it, but at the end of the day, you know, there's a lot of people saying how upset they are. But I will say this. Jerry Jones is a problem, people. He really is. I've been saying it for a while. I didn't realize how long that Sean Sharif and them guys have been there. They've been interviewing Jerry for 12 years. They've interviewed everything from his racial comments, or not racial comments. The photo of him being on the opposite side of the line. I guess him being in high school when it was segregated. Now that I don't know enough to know, but they've covered anything from that to bad seasons. But this was different. I mean, they've covered everything with this man. And if you listen to Jerry Jones's tone, he told you exactly what he felt about the man, the regular man. He basically said, I ain't gonna talk to any guy on the radio. And it gives you a quick glimpse of the man. Now, we're talking about a man who's he's a billionaire, right? He's a billionaire. He doesn't know. He thinks he knows, right? When he talks about, wow, everybody thought I was an idiot to buy the Cowboys. I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Well, that's a lie. He was a millionaire at the time. He may not have had a lot of cash flow to buy a pro football team. But for me and you, the money he had already at that point would have put us in a very good spot for the rest of our lives. I'm sure anybody would love to have $1 million sitting in the bank. You know? So, he makes it sound, I'm not saying, listen, I'm not one of these guys that are trying to take anybody's money, or the rich people, and you make your money, you deserve it. You put in the work, you deserve it. You put in the hard work, you deserve it. But he gave you a glimpse of what he really feels about the average person, in my opinion. This is just Game Time Brian. Sean Sharif, RJ Choppy, Bobby Bell. We could all disagree with these guys. You know, we've had our issues with Sean and the YouTubers. Hey, Sean. Listen, bro, you couldn't hold my jock when it comes to my job. Just like I probably... I think I could do your job. That's the difference, Sean. But it has nothing to do with Sean Sharif. You know, I do my job and I do YouTube. I don't have a producer. I don't have somebody in my ear. I'm the guy hitting all the buttons, trying to talk to all the people. They're going to do a good job of it. You know, but that has nothing to do about these guys. These guys were totally in the right yesterday. They were asking the tough questions for the fans. And I would tell you that I don't think Sean asked the tough questions usually. But they were backed in a corner. I mean, again, I was hoping that Sean, in his infinite wisdom, would have asked Jerry and said, hey, Jerry, Dallas Cowboys set a record. You guys are into records and how big the crowds are and how fast you sell out your season tickets. Jerry, you set a record. Dallas set an NFL record. First team in NFL history to be down 15 or more points at halftime in 4 straight home games. Jerry, what's your thoughts on setting the NFL record? Well, fuck you, RJ. Well, listen, Jerry, and he told you, Jerry doubled down last night with Diana Rossini. Jerry doubled down when he walked into the meeting, when he walked into the owners' meeting, when he barely made it by a minute, blaming it on the interview. He goes, I don't mind being asked these questions by the fans, but not by my flagship station. Basically meaning he wants softball questions, which we already knew that. I told you people, I don't know the names, but I know there's multiple employees, young reporters who were fired early on in their career, and I'm sure they got jobs in other towns, but they're not covering the Cowboys because they asked the tough questions. Again, what Jerry Jones did was basically tell you how he feels about the average person. The way he poo-pooed the radio aspect, meaning I don't have to sit here and talk on the damn radio. Well, yes, you do. That's an outlet for your fans, Jerry. Okay? I'm sorry. You know, you think you know everything. You're a billionaire. Guess what, Jerry? You're going to die just like I am, just like we all are. We're all going to meet our maker. You can't take your money with you, Jerry. I'm sorry, them helicopters, all the good things you've done, listen, I'm not sitting there saying you're a bad person, Jerry. It's time to step away, Jerry. It's time to step away. You can still run your organization and go to your owners' meetings, go to your luncheons and discuss rules and all that. But as far as the day-to-day operations of the Dallas Cowboys, you don't have the temperament for the job. You do not have the temperament for the job to work with people, compassion for people. It sounds like you're making excuses. Blaming Dak Prescott. Blaming CeeDee Lamb. Blaming everybody but one person. There's one person that you're not blaming. Or you will sit and you literally told them all the mistakes you make. You can fire yourself, Jerry, but here's the cool thing, Jerry. Here's the cool thing. Come close. If you fire yourself, you're still a billionaire and you still own the football team. You still own the football team. It's not like Vinny Hagan. I know you're retired, but it's not like me, where I'm going to do a job now, where I've had it with the job. I've had it with the people. A lot of the people in the job. Okay? I've had it. Does that mean? Okay. Maybe it's mean. but I've been here 30 years. Seen people come and go, and it's just not good. It's not a good situation anymore, people. Sorry. You know, I don't want to get political and all that crap, but it's not what it used to be, people. It's not. It's not. The unions don't even care anymore. The unions don't even. I've been working without a contract for well over a year. And then it's all fixed. The government will go, well, we'll give you your 1.2% raise. Okay, inflation ate that up 6 months ago. But anyway, circling back, Vinny. Jerry Jones, if he fires himself as a GM, he don't even have to fire himself. So you know what? I don't want to do it anymore. Lie to us. You do it any other time, Jerry. Jerry, you lie to the fans all the time. You lie to us until you're blue in the face. You don't have a problem with lying and taking their money. And one way of lying is saying, well, we're going to go all in. In Jerry's mind, going all in was re-signing Dak and CD. Okay? You do know that you lost last year with Dak and CD, and you needed to add a piece or two to go along with Dak and CD. Maybe check in with your analytic department, and they'll tell you that when you have a scale, right? And it's weighted equally. You take some weight off of one, Dorrance Armstrong, right? Being one of them. Jonathan Hankins being one of them. Dante Fowler being another one. Stephon Gilmore being another one. Guess what? Your odds go down in winning. You're pulling talent off the team. No, I get it. You had to sign Dak, and you had to sign CD. I know. It killed you. You literally waited till the 11th hour to do it, Jerry. You're still sitting with close to $23 million under the salary cap. And what do we keep hearing? Well, we got to save it for somebody else. We got other guys we want to do. Sometimes, Jerry, you just got to spend a little more than you need to. Sometimes you got to buy something for the wife, Jerry. You may not necessarily have the cash, but you charge it a little bit. Maybe that'll make her happy for a little while, right? Maybe give us Derrick Henry. You know, that would have really have helped your defense. Really would have. Hey, Jer, you said you couldn't afford him. He's the MVP. He wanted to play for Dallas. You could have had him for 2 years, 18 mil. He's the MVP of the league as of right now, Jared. Good move. Kudos. Again, it's not about any one move, but Jerry basically told you what he felt about the radio station. He wants softball questions from the flagship station. So keep that in mind. I've been telling you that forever. This wasn't the first time, but he knows he can't run. The issue is now he knows he cannot run away from where the fault lies, and that's with himself. The fault lies with Jerry Jones, and he can't run anymore. He just turned 82 years old. Jerry is now at the age where he's fine one day and he's no longer here the next. That's sad. I'm not wishing that on Jerry. That's just a fact of life. You could everything could be good. You go to bed. Well, he was 82, you know, and he doesn't see a solution. He sees his all-in blowing up in his face because Dak can't do it all himself. Dak's a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. Okay, CD's immature. CD can't do it all by himself. But these are things we already knew, right? Which is why we wanted to add to the team. Which is why me and Phil were ready to move on from Dak. Not because we don't like Dak. We want Dak to win. But with this team, they were not going to do it. You know, I wanted to move on from the coach, but they do not want to pay a coach to not coach. You say what you want, but for $1 billion industry, they're cheap. Yes, they are cheap. And I will always go back to this. I got people, I'm a mailman, been a mailman for 30 years. I know some people, most people don't give their mail, let me just tell you, most people do not give their mailman anything for Christmas. Not even a card, nothing. Hey, thanks for, they don't care. They, you're getting paid. That's the attitude, and that's the normal attitude. But most of the people that give me something are people who barely have 2 nickels to rub together. And I'm like, man, please. Yet the people who run and own the town, live in, I mean, I have houses on my route that are a couple $1 million. Nothing. Hey, Merry Christmas. Now I always give because I know how hard the job is. And rain and snow and sleet and dark of night. I know how hard the job is. You know, and people just want their mail. I remember last year, a lady, I had to walk through. She didn't even shovel her, she didn't even have anybody shovel her, the snow off her sidewalk. I literally had to walk 30 yards. Now, I didn't have to. I could have been mean, but I'm not that type of person. She was waving 2 letters out her door, and I had to walk all the way through the snow. I'm not supposed to do that. If my boss found out, you'd be like, well, what are you doing? They didn't shovel their walk. You fall and get hurt. It's your fault. See, people don't understand. If we fall and get hurt, I get written up because I walk through a dangerous area. If I get bit by a dog, I get written up because I didn't use my dog spray and spray the dog, which is the last thing I want to do unless I had to. So what I'm trying to get at is, people don't care. But Jerry Jones has definitely lifted up and showed you at this stage of his life anyway what he really cares about. And what Jerry really cares about is making money, being relevant enough to be in the conversation. We didn't hear nothing about Davante Adams or Amari Cooper. We heard it, but it was hardly anything compared to this BS we heard yesterday about Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. Even yesterday, they stole the headlines. Now, but what Jerry doesn't understand is it's negative at this point, Jerry. It's not good. It's not good that you won these headlines. These aren't the headlines you want. It's time to step down. It's time for them to take the reins away from him, muzzle him a little bit, let him go to the meetings, let him still be involved. They need to make somebody the GM of the Dallas Cowboys. This is just another example. I could go on and on and on. I should have probably done a video, but I was very tired. So all I'll say is I'll see everybody 2:30, 3 o'clock live from the mail truck. We'll talk about it more. But let me know what you think about Jerry. Am I being too rough on him? But he doubled down last night with Diana Rossini. That's not a good thing, people. Their questions weren't rough enough, if you ask me. They weren't. But anyway, all right, everybody. That's me. I'll talk to everybody later. Late.
Kind of hot in these rhinos.